Caitlin Clark finally spoke out, and her comments after the Puerto Rico game caught everyone off guard. Just a day after shattering FIA records in her Team USA debut against Senegal, Clark stepped into an arena where even the Puerto Rico coach's daughter was proudly holding a Clark sign. Cameras tracked her every move, and FIBA had already dubbed her the face of the tournament. Meanwhile, Kara Lawson and Stephanie White's offense struggled to find rhythm. Kaya Copper took over with her standout play, and Angel Reese constantly denied Clark the ball. Amid all the chaos, Caitlin's reaction at the end will make you cheer for her even more. Drop a comment below. Do you think Team USA will give Caitlin the treatment she deserves?
Yeah, I thought the game was a little clunky. I felt like we probably didn't play our best. I thought Paige played really well, but it felt good. I mean, I obviously probably didn't shoot it as well as I would have liked. I think their zone kind of threw us off. I thought it kind of slowed down our pace a little bit. We didn't get as much in transition, so I think if like another team plays zone, just continue to play with a lot of pace and don't let them set these out.
Caitlin Clark hadn't played a competitive game in 8 months. 8 months. First it was a groin injury, then her leg, then her ankle. Just 13 games in her second WNBA season, and then radio silence. So when she finally returned to the court for Team USA against Senegal, nobody knew what to expect. Would she be rusty? Struggling to find her rhythm? Would the long layoff show? She came off the bench, and in just 19 minutes, she didn't just impress, she shattered 5 FIA world records. Not 1, not 2, 5 records in her very first game back. Coming off the bench.
We've got 5 new players checked in for Team USA, and if you can hear the crowd, Caitlin Clark checks in to her first minute as a senior USA national team player. There's a lot of fans here for Caitlin Clark. I see signs, I see Indiana jerseys, I see Iowa jerseys. One of the most influential women's basketball players that we've seen, and she's here right now getting her first minutes.
Let's break down what she actually did on the court. 17 points, 12 assists. And here's the part that still feels unreal: 0 turnovers in the first half. 0. 8 of those assists came in that very first half, and not once did anyone manage to take the ball from her. FIBA even combed through their entire record books and discovered that no player from any country, in any qualifying game, had ever recorded that many assists in a single half. And Caitlin Clark did it, all in her first competitive game back after 8 long months.
Level basketball.
Ryan Howard, back to Clark. Clark into Irvin, and Irvin off the glass, the ball movement.
The assist record goes even deeper. Those 12 assists didn't just make her impressive, they made history. Caitlin Clark became the all-time leader for most assists in any Team USA senior national team debut. She set the record for the most assists in any senior national team debut across all countries in FIA history. She also earned the second highest total of assists ever in an FIA qualifying tournament, and on top of that, she set the record for the most assists ever by a player coming off the bench. 5 historic records. 1 game. Just 19 minutes on the floor.
5 in, 5 out substitution pattern. Danilo, what does that say about the depth of this team when you have Caitlin Clark coming off the bench?
That's a easy shot for her, deep 3.
The deep 3 is like a layup for her though.
The lineup Lawson put on the floor in the second quarter, with Clark running point alongside Ryan Howard, Kelsey Plum, Kiki Irian, and Monique Billings, was electric. So sharp, so fast, and so connected that even Lawson admitted it took Team USA to a whole new level. Those were her exact words. Her own coach looked at that unit and said it elevated the entire team. And Clark? She wasn't even starting, and yet she was the best thing happening on the court. This wasn't just a strong debut. This was a player returning after 8 months off and immediately proving why FIBA plastered her face on every piece of tournament marketing. No one else on the roster got that treatment. They did it because Clark is the star, the reason casual fans tune in, the reason arenas fill up. FIA knew it. The fans knew it. And after the Senegal game, the stats confirmed it.
The defender and finding the right player.
Clark over to Billings, and Clark, although she's the NCAA all-time leading scorer, she is an assist machine. The offensive rebound gives the USA another chance. Angel Reese makes the most of it, and that's Caitlin Clark's 9 assists.
Going into the Puerto Rico game, the situation was simple. You had a player who had just shattered 5 FIA records in 19 minutes, running the team's most efficient lineup with the entire world watching. The question of whether Caitlin Clark was ready? She had already answered that against Segall, before most players had even gotten warmed up. The only question now, how would Kara Lawson and the coaching staff use her? Would they let her take the reins? Build the offense around what she had already proven she could do? Would they look at those 12 assists, 0 turnovers, and finally admit, yeah, she needs the ball in her hands?
Be patient, find the right shot.
Caitlin Clark's got the ball over to Beckers. Beckers sets up the three, and it's nothing but...
The scene in Puerto Rico the next day was electric. Fans packed the arena, a dedicated cameraman tracked Clark's every move, and even the Puerto Rico coach's own daughter showed up holding a Clark sign. The entire building was there for her. But once the game tipped off, everything changed, and that's when this story took an unexpected turn.
Exciting as that first Team USA game was, this one was almost completely in the other direction as far as how ugly it was. The US squad just out of sync, top to bottom. Kara Lawson's experimenting with lineups and different combinations.
Now, let's get into what really went down in that Puerto Rico game. Sure, Puerto Rico ran a zone. They pressed aggressively and made things uncomfortable. But the zone wasn't the real challenge. The real problem was happening on the Team USA bench.
And jealousy meets envy. You get what you saw last night. Caitlin Clark being shunned out of the game, iced out of the game, ignored, teammates refusing to pass her the ball. We got Angel Reese taking it coast to coast, Caitlin Clark right next to her, refusing to give her the ball, going, pushing, giving it to Diarca Hamby, and the ball it's a turnover. What we saw yesterday was the definition of jealousy meeting envy.
Kahleah Copper was out there playing full-on hero ball, and I mean full-on. Holding the ball, pulling up off the dribble, forcing her way through traffic. And when Clark was wide open on the perimeter, Copper still wasn't looking her way. Not once. Not twice. It became a clear pattern. The crisp, fast-paced defense that had made the Segall game look effortless had completely vanished. Instead of ball movement and open cuts, Team USA was grinding through stagnant half-court possessions that led nowhere. And Clark, who had just orchestrated the team's most efficient lineup the day before, was left standing there, watching it all unfold.
Copper, this is horrible. 3 people on you. Caitlin Clark is wide open. Don't pass her the ball. Caitlin Clark with a great block. And then Caitlin Clark with a great steal. They'll say she doesn't play defense. So I threw in some defensive highlights. And then she gets hit in the head. Why is it always her head that's getting hit? In every game she's ever played.
And then there was Angel Reese. Fans watching live noticed it right away. Multiple possessions where Clark was wide open, where the obvious play was to get her the ball, and Reese just didn't. Not once, not twice, it kept happening. Clips of the missed opportunities started circulating online before the quarter was even over. People were furious.
4 right here, that's our 5th player. Then we have 2 behind here, so we running 5v3 right now, right? We 5v3, so we have numbers. If we just figured out what was going on right here, we would have been in good shape. But with this confusion, Caitlin slowing down so Angel can cross. We allowed the defense to get back into position. Now the thing is, Puerto Rico was running a pretty nice zone in the second quarter, late in the second quarter. And honestly, the best way to beat any type of defense is to keep them on their heels when you get a rebound or you get a steal, turning the defense into offense. That's the best way to beat any type of defense.
Clark's reaction to all of this wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. In fact, it said far more than any words could. When she checked back into the game, she didn't even glance at Reese. No nod, no acknowledgement, nothing. She just kept her eyes straight ahead. That's not accidental body language. That's a player who's seen enough and isn't pretending otherwise.
First thing I want to show is this, man. This clip right here had me rolling a little bit. Now, this is in the second quarter, okay? Mind you, the second quarter. We're going to go right back into what happened in the first quarter, right? So, Caitlin coming out, giving some daps, right? Bang, bang, bang. Let's go, team. Let's go, team. Boom, smack Mo. And we were waiting on Angel, and nah, man. Hey, look.
But that wasn't the end of it. After the game, a reporter went straight to Kara Lawson with a direct question about Caitlin Clark, and Lawson flat out refused to answer. Not a vague team-first response, not a pivot to another topic, just a refusal to address Clark specifically. She talked about being in fact-finding mode, needing to figure out combinations, which, after Clark had just shattered 5 FIA records the day before, is, well, something. The fact is already there. 17 points, 12 assists, 0 turnovers in 19 minutes. What exactly are you still looking for?
I thought Puerto Rico played very, very hard, and they played hard the entire time. They challenged us with their effort, and I thought they made a lot of hustle plays to create baskets for themselves. And, this was more of an uneven game for us on both ends. We talked about it as a team, and I thought we had some good spots, but I also thought we had some rough spots, and that's good. It's good to have rough spots sometimes. You're able to kind of figure some things out, and we're still figuring things.
And then there was Stephanie White, sitting right there on the bench. White is Clark's head coach with the Indiana Fever, the same Stephanie White who spent the entire last WNBA season trying to make Clark play off the ball and slow down her game. Fever fans saw it all season long. White's coaching approach with Clark limits her as the primary facilitator, restricts her reads, and keeps her from controlling the pace. That's not a secret. That's not speculation. It's exactly what fans watched happen, over and over. And now, that same philosophy was sitting front and center on the Team USA bench during a game where Clark was being frozen out.
All the publicity Caitlin Clark's getting today? Did you see the news? Everybody's talking about Caitlin Clark. We can't have that. The transition offense, Caitlin Clark making passes that nobody in the league has ever seen before. We can't have that. Slow it down, Kara Lawson. Switch it up. We got to make everybody else shine. We don't want her. Everybody else needs to shine. Today's night, it's going to be Paige's night and Angel's night. What a brutal game, folks. What a brutal game.
Let's lay it all out plainly. You've got Copper refusing to move the ball. You've got Ree looking Clark off on multiple possessions. You've got a head coach who won't even say Clark's name in the post-game. And you've got an assistant coach who spent an entire WNBA season trying to coach Clark into a smaller role. Any one of these things, maybe you could give a pass. But all four happening in the same game, the day after Clark broke 5 FIA records? That's not bad luck. That's a pattern, because when you actually study the game film, watching every time Clark touched the ball versus every stretch she didn't, the difference is crystal clear. Ready for it? Watch these two games back to back, and it tells you everything you need to know about what Clark brings to this offense. Against Segal, the ball was flying. Clark would push it up the court, read the defense before it even set, and find cutters her teammates didn't even know were open yet.
Let's take another look at this one. Angel Reese, strong to the basket. She was the leading scorer at halftime for this Senegalese team. She's got 5 points right now and 3 fouls, so something to look forward to. Can't be quite as aggressive as Monique Billings.
Ryan Howard was getting layups off passes that Clark made look almost effortless. Kiki Ariafin was scoring in the paint without having to create anything herself. That's what Clark does. She makes the entire floor bigger just by being on it. Defenders have to respect her shot, her drive, her pull-up, and suddenly gaps open everywhere else. The offense breathes differently when she's running it. Against Puerto Rico, none of that existed. Team USA was walking the ball up the court, grinding through half-court sets that went nowhere. The ball wasn't moving. Cuts lacked purpose. The transition game that made Segal look easy had completely dried up. Clark herself said the offense felt a little clunky. And honestly, that's putting it generously.
Angel Reese is playing the point guard. She's not looking Caitlin Clark's way one time, deliberately not passing her
the plus-minus from the Segal game tells the story in one number. Clark played 90 minutes off the bench and finished with a plus 35. That second quarter unit with her running point? By far the best lineup on the floor. When she wasn't in, the numbers dropped off sharply. That's not coincidence. That's not small sample noise. That's the data confirming exactly what your eyes were already seeing. So what does Clunky look like in real time? It looks like Copper catching the ball on the wing and just holding it while the defense resets. It looks like half-court possessions chewing up the shot clock with no movement. It looks like sideways passes instead of forward. Against Segal, Clark turned defensive pressure into fast breaks. Teams blitzed her, and she used it against them, flipping the ball ahead before the defense could rotate. Against Puerto Rico? None of that happened. The offense was slow, disconnected, and stagnant from start to finish.
I think Caitlin probably could have threw that ball past everybody, got it to Hamby, and then boom, we're going to work on the mouse in the house, right? But instead, we had Angel come up, slow the game down, slow the offense down, and Hamby ended up throwing the point guard to the floor. We got an offensive foul. So I just think it was a way to dodge that if we had Caitlin having.
And here's the part that should genuinely worry people. Puerto Rico is not Spain. Puerto Rico is not Italy. The teams coming up in this tournament have disciplined schemes, real defensive rotations, and the athleticism to punish a slow half-court offense. Puerto Rico's zone was enough to expose just how dependent Team USA's rhythm is on Clark pushing the pace. A more disciplined opponent could do serious damage with that same approach. You can't just walk the ball up against Spain and hope Copper bails you out with mid-range jumpers. That's not a winning formula at this level. Every time Clark touched the ball against Puerto Rico, something positive happened. A kick out, a drive drawing a foul, a skip pass that shifted the defense. Every stretch without her dictating pace? Team USA looked like a completely different team. Slower, disconnected, like everyone was running slightly different plays and hoping it worked. The film doesn't lie. Possession by possession, it's clear. Clark has the ball, the offense has a pulse. Clark stands on the perimeter while Copper dribbles into a double team, and the offense flatlines.
Brianna Jones. Caitlin Clark gets in the passing lane, goes coast to coast for the and one opportunity. Makes the layup off the glass. She asked her teammates, did that go in? Now she gets a chance at the foul line. She wanted the intentional. I think she got hit in the head there, but let's take another look. Caitlin Clark jumps the passing lane, coast to coast. Let's see. Oh, the referee got in the way to see that. She did get hit in the head. She's making a case for herself, but...
Think about what was actually happening in that arena. Copper was out there protecting her role, forcing shots, and keeping the ball in her hands. Ree was making reads that conveniently left Clark stranded on the perimeter. Lawson was dodging direct questions about the most watched player in women's basketball. And Clark? She walked up to the MIC and talked about the team needing to find its rhythm. That's it. No agenda. No politics. No self-protection. Just the team.
Asa, do you feel like some of the mistakes that you guys made was something that Puerto Rico was doing, or were some of them also a little self-inflicted?
I think it was mostly self-inflicted. I thought we missed some defensive coverages, and then I think especially with how much we fouled too, like it really limits us, especially in transition like fast. And, it's hard to push, especially off of the fade free throw that we're sitting on the front.
It was obviously a big win by a large margin for Team USA, but what can you say about what you saw about Team Puerto Rico tonight?
Yeah, I thought they played with a lot of fire. I thought they were aggressive. I thought the crowd was incredible. The fans were great, so it's a really fun environment.
Think about what was actually happening in that arena. Copper was out there protecting her role, forcing shots, and keeping the ball in her hands. Ree was making reads that conveniently left Clark stranded on the perimeter. Lawson was dodging direct questions about the most watched player in women's basketball. And Clark? She walked up to the MIC and talked about the team needing to find its rhythm. That's it. No agenda. No politics. No self-protection. Just the team.
I think taking care of the ball is probably going to be our main focus. I think we could have moved the ball a little bit better. I don't know how many assists we had, but I thought we could have probably passed the ball a little bit better. I think about these games, the paint was really, really clogged, and we want to get easy finishes at the rim, but I think also get in the paint, but be ready to kick it out. I think that's what we do.
And would you say that it was due to Puerto Rico's defense or just offense not following?
Puerto Rico did a great job, but also I think we could be better offense.
That contrast tells the whole story. Everyone else in that situation was looking out for themselves. Clark was the only one in the room talking about winning. And she did it after being frozen out, after watching the offense collapse without her running it, and after sitting through a post-game where her own coach wouldn't even acknowledge what she had done the day before.
We talked about doing different lineups, different rotations to test out that chemistry. Just how did you feel tonight, yesterday, with all those different rotations?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a work in progress. Everybody trying to kind of find the flow a little bit, especially when we're going 5 in, 5 out. But, you got to be flexible. That's kind of what USA basketball is all about. Some games you're going to play a lot. Some games you're not going to play as much. You might come off the bench, you might start. So you got to be ready when your number's called. I think everybody's done a good job of that. And, we don't even know the starting lineup until we're in the locker room before the game. So you just get ready and go out and play.
So what does all of this tell you about who Caitlin Clark really is? It would have been so easy for her to take a subtle shot, a raised eyebrow, a carefully worded answer, and let the internet do the rest. She didn't do any of that. She just talked about the zone and said the team would figure it out. That level of composure? Most players, most people, don't have it, especially in a situation this loaded. But here's the reality, her composure alone isn't